Get ready for live stream curling, only at curlingzone.com.
Okay, right. How are you doing there? Hugh Murphy back here with Curling Zone and another broadcast from the National Mixed Curling Championship, the Canadian National Mixed Curling Championship from the Weston Golf Country Club. Here we are, and I think it's draw number 8, where we have British Columbia playing against Northern Ontario on sheet 1. How are you doing over there, Ray?
Doing good, Hugh.
Ready for yet another sort of telecast-ish thing?
Ready to go.
Good job. Okay. So, we were doing a little bit of technical setup as this game actually started, so we're partway into the game. Tell us where we are, Ray, and we'll get ourselves going here.
We're just coming up to skip stones, and it's British Columbia. Dean Janice, the skip of British Columbia, who will throw first. It's Northern Ontario that has the hammer in this first end. Quickly going through the lineups for BC, it's lead Kelly Steiger, second Tyler Orm, third Shannon Alexic, and their skip is Dean Janice, and they curl out at the Royal City Curling Club in New Westminster. And Northern Ontario is skipped by Colin Coifola, third Oisem Juan Brion, second Christopher Brion, and their lead is Amanda Gates, and they curl out at the Port Arthur in Thunder Bay.
Well, it looks like Mr. Joannis is going to be throwing an intern hit.
It's been a pretty wide open first end, so... Good start. This game is from Pool A, and British Columbia comes in with a record of 1-3. Northern Ontario, this is their last game of the pool play, and they come in with a record of 3 wins and 2 defeats. Skip Colin Coifola playing the intern hit. That makes no mistake.
Two interns hits to start the game for Mr. Joannis. Pretty straightforward. He'll be comfortable with that.
So Colin Coifola with last rock will look to hit and blank this first end. Retain hammer into the second end. Final stone.
So there we go, a little hit and roll out leaves this first end of game between BC and Northern Ontario a blank, and Northern Ontario will carry last rock into the second end.
So the other games in this 8th draw on sheet B, it is Pool A, and it's Nova Scotia against Alberta. Both of them are the leaders in Pool A. Nova Scotia with a 4-1 record, and playing their last game of the pool play against Alberta, who is 4-0. Sheet C is the Yukon at 2-2 against New Brunswick, 3-1. Sheet D is Northwest Territories at 3-2 against Ontario at 2-2. And on sheet E, it is Newfoundland Labrador at 1 and 4 against PEI 1 and 3. First stone of the second end from Kelsey Steiger, the British Columbia lead. Slips in top 4. So Colin Koivula will try and get some offense going in this end, throwing a corner guard.
I think Amanda Gates is someone people will recognize from playing out of Northern Ontario for quite a while. She's been on television quite a number of times.
And a nice shot. Oh, and a bit of a pick there, and so that's an unfortunate break. It just picked as it approached the hog line. So the guard over curls. So Northern Ontario with 2 corner guards to work with now, and a chance to hit and roll with Amanda Gates, second rock of this end.
Oh, good looking little hit and roll there. May have come out the other side just a little bit, but BC will ignore that and come right around in any case. Pretty aggressive considering they don't have last rock.
So Tyler Orm trying to come around and freeze on the yellow shot stone in Northern Ontario.
Pops it to the back of the 12-foot and rolls a little bit open. Certainly will give Northern Ontario a lightweight, maybe a hack weight sort of come around tap to sit 2 behind cover. Certainly 1 behind cover, and 1 is a teaser on the back of the 12-foot.
And as we've seen in the previous games, there's so much swing in the ice.
Just about any stone in the house is accessible at any point in time. Certainly with good weight control, any stone in the house is accessible. I just adjusted our side view camera here, and I'm wondering if, based on this camera, the speed of the ice will be faster coming home than it will be going away. You see the angle I got there? Overhead. Here we go.
Downhill.
Brilliant shot in any case. Yeah, it's going downhill coming home.
That's a great shot, though. So now
Indeed.
sitting 2 and 1 in behind cover.
And looks like BC feels pretty committed at this point. They're going to do their best to tuck around.
This is scary as a team without Hammer to be playing around corner guards and facing 2 halfway through the lineup.
Wow, 2 already, yeah. 2 sunk in there. If they can pull this one into the top 12-foot to outcount the back one, yeah, there we go, tucking it nicely on.
It's a pretty good shot.
In fact, it's a great shot. It's hard to tell who's shot at this point, but it's close. That's a brilliant stone.
Yeah.
Cuts the scoring zone down from an 8-foot to, or from a 12-foot to a 7-foot now.
And it appears as though Northern Ontario indicating that it is the red that's the shot stone. So they'll look to try and corner freeze that one.
Yeah, they certainly play a setup shot. They've got last rock. They're going to be happy to experiment a little bit and get something set up. Oh, that is not. I'm well ahead of who I'm. Here we go. Chris Briand there.
So Christopher Briand. This one looking a bit high at the moment.
Yeah, they're putting their hands up saying it's a little bit warm, but he's not going to feel too bad about juggling this a little bit, I don't think. No, he's going to feel good
Rubs
about sitting a deuce. Or...
rolls a bit. It's close.
Indeed, it's close. But I don't think BC's gonna bat two eyelashes about that stone at the back.
Corner freeze again.
Tell me Shannon's in the hack now.
She is.
Oh, good. Got the right graphic up on screen then. Oh, good looking solid delivery here. A top 8 weight is what they're looking for. Come around that corner guard.
This one, of course, has a little bit of curling to do. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah, and there's no shortage of that on this ice.
It's pretty good. Chance still to kind of come and top it back. Yep. Just back 8, back 12 weight. Oy Sam Wambrion throws the third stones. They're going hard on this one. Diving towards the corner guard. Are they going to get it by? No, not quite.
Just rubs. Rolls across and sets my corner way over on the other side. Not that anyone's going to be able to take advantage of that.
Oh, one big spin in.
So did it finish up? Just yeah, it did. Just on the corner.
So BC electing to come into that pocket. They could split the house, sit there too, try and force this end.
It's clear that the BC skip is not at all worried about playing an aggressive style of play. This is going to be an entertaining game. There's no question.
Definitely.
Sitting 2 after that good throw.
Of course, Dean has been to a few Briars in the early 2000s, I believe. So he's a veteran of the game.
Beautiful solid delivery there as well. Great mechanics. As we see this one make its way down and into the house. She's thrown this one just a little harder than I'm sure they wanted it to be thrown. Because now it leaves something of a triple, I suppose.
I believe is there, yeah.
Yeah.
They hit it just right.
Their big concern has to be about jamming the one on the back, really.
Yeah. Yep, just need to avoid the jam. If you're playing for the double on the stone on the left side, as we see it, it's doesn't look as though it's going to jam. So.
No, you're right. But again, the shot isn't the double. The shot isn't this double here.
Yeah.
It's this one that you've got to be concerned about jamming on. Because if you jam here, then Northern Ontario is just tucking a second stone in, sitting against deuce, and really setting themselves up for the deuce, really.
It's a bit of a tricky shot. You don't see it in the overhead, but there is that yellow corner guard that kind of gets into your sight line, so just be careful not to pinch it towards the target. Big weight.
Yeah, there's no shortage of speed coming on this puppy.
Ooh. Still okay.
Absolutely.
Sitting too. So.
Yep. So if we're going to see a deuce here, it's going to be a skips deuce.
Absolutely. Still a good opportunity to corner freeze that back 8-foot red shot. So.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can tuck one in around this top one and put one on the corner there,
Yep.
then Jonas is going to have a tough time getting it out. That's quite likely what he's looking at here. I'm looking at the.
I think they're looking at the run back on the yellow.
Yeah, that's.
So that's a tough shot. Yeah, I like this call.
So a T-line weight corner freeze coming up.
Just lost the line on that a bit. It's not bad though. It's shot stone.
It's shot stone. It's still in front of the one that's slightly behind the tee line. And if Joannis is going to get it out, he's going to have to navigate it past. Oh, he's
interesting. Can't play with the out turn because of that corner guard. So
I suppose he's going to throw it relatively hard. He's going to run it onto his own red one and spill it out the side. That's not the ice for that.
Not with that ice. I think he might just be coming with this quietly. Just like a board weight kind of thing across the face. Tricky shot.
He's asking for a bit more ice as well. So he's really going to control this one.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't look too pretty in the hack, so. So final stone for BC in the second end. Dean Jonis.
His sweepers aren't jumping on it. Keeping it clean. There they go. Yep.
Breaking hard, diving to the guard. Get it by, no.
Feathers the guard. And
that was a difficult shot.
And sets up the deuce, or leaves the deuce.
So, you called it skips deuce.
There you go. Those two rocks that'll score will be skip stones. If Mr. Koivula can throw this one into the 8-foot, fully into the 8-foot, maybe even bite a piece of the 4-foot, get his second point. It really is aggressive play. It really is aggressive play for a skip that doesn't have last rock to be going around the corners.
It is.
I mean, Joannis has a whole pile of stones there behind a corner, but the two stones that are going to score are going to be closer to the button.
So, final stone of this second end. Sweepers look confident that this is there. Just
Yeah, they're not hurting
Clean now.
themselves with sweeping. They'll just navigate it in carefully.
and no mistake.
Indeed, beautiful draw, right to the lid.
So a deuce in the second end for Northern Ontario puts them 2-0 ahead through 2. And you hear the applause in the background. Alberta just came through the tight port to score 4 on Nova Scotia. So Alberta, who's undefeated in their pool with a 4 spot in the second end, moves ahead of Nova Scotia 4-0 through 2 ends. On sheet C, Yukon and New Brunswick. Appears to be a score of 2 for New Brunswick in the second, so 2-0 for, it's actually a steal of 2. 2-0 for New Brunswick. On sheet D, it is Ontario with a 4-0 lead on the Northwest Territories. And on sheet E, it is PEI with a 1-0 lead on Newfoundland Labrador after 1.
So Northern Ontario here in this third end has thrown their first one, and it slid all the way to the back of the 8 foot, maybe even back of the 12 foot. Oh, here I am.
Just to confirm, sheet C, it was a steal of 2 for New Brunswick, so they lead 2-0 after 2. That corner guard attempt for British Columbia just slipped in, and so Amanda Gates now taking aim at it. That's a good shot.
So what did you say they hung on sheet C?
It was a steal of 2 for New Brunswick, so 2-0 New Brunswick.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Get that up to date here.
So it appears as though BC is going to try and use the stones in the house now to generate their points.
Yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat. If you don't have guards, but you have stones in the house, you move them back until you've got a wall behind the tee line. And BC is going to nestle up nicely to this one in the front of the house.
So Northern Ontario looking to nose hit that one just thrown by Kelsey Seiger.
Calling for solid weight here. It's tapping his shoulder. And he gets a good enough piece of this to roll
Everything out.
roll most of what was in the house off.
And that's fine.
Back to basics.
So BC now electing to throw a corner.
God is not punishing already.
And this is a nice tight guard. Something that makes it more difficult to... well, if you can get something tucked in around a guard that's tight like that, on swingy ice like that, it makes it more difficult to access them.
Northern Ontario looking to clear this guard off. And makes no mistake.
Is it Tyler in the hack again? Right?
It is Tyler.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So trying the corner guard on the other side. Try and see if you could put it in a place where you can get a mistake. And no. So there's a miss. So, chance now for BC to take advantage of that corner guard.
Yeah, it's pretty quick up there, indicate. Let's get one behind this.
Shannon Alexic.
Great, thank you. So this is coming by the guard by about 1 8 foot.
Yep.
Let's see what we get for Bury. Yeah, that stone
That
is
is totally buried.
lost. Absolutely lost. That said,
You can come by with hack.
yeah, you could get by with hack.
Draw did get by quite a bit, so
So they're indicating. Thanks so much. It's good of you.
Welcome. If you
Cheers.
need anything else, I'm usually just
Yeah, I appreciate
wave
it.
me down.
Thanks. It's good of you.
Wave me down if you want.
You know, Ray, the volunteers that Beth Wilno and our committee have put together to run this event are just fantastic.
They're
They've been-
fantastic.
They've been wonderfully helpful.
they most certainly have. Great organizing committee. And
Yeah, feather in the guard there, and
guard, can they roll the shooter in?
they can. And Northern Ontario will not like that.
Why?
They will not like that. That just puts a.
So a chance to freeze the back one. Having said that, crashing the guard and rolling in for second shot wasn't the most awful thing, so
No, certainly not.
yeah. So
Certainly not. That's what I'm saying. The Northern Ontario is.
So BC looking to freeze the back 8-foot shot zone.
This is a good-looking shot here.
Comes up a bit short, but it's in front of the rocks.
Indeed. Sitting one. Northern Ontario's got second and third.
So if Colin ever overcurls this one and takes out his own back yellow with the red and rolls out, then BC will have an opportunity to hit the one on the wing to sit 2. So need to pick this clean to make sure you still sit 2.
His own game?
And a great shot.
There we go.
So, same call. Come down and freeze the back 8-foot stone.
They're thinking this looks a little bit light. Swept it the length of the ice, and they're going to get it to the tee line. Maybe a little past that. Oh,
Over curled though.
it did. So they were really sweeping it for line as much as weight.
But again, Colin Coyville has to just be careful here. Nose hit to continue to sit 2.
Don't worry about it. He's going to hit that. Should be running a couple. Long way down. You go the other way.
So final stone for Northern Ontario in this third end. Colin Coyville.
Looks right on target from here.
And great shot. So
Sits the deuce, forces BC to score a point. Well, in the first 3 ends, you've seen Dean Joannis be pretty aggressive in trying to score his points, trying to force Northern Ontario. So dropping to a point behind here without hammer, you can expect him to be that much more aggressive still.
yeah, absolutely.
In the next couple of ends, this may get very entertaining. The gloves will come off. Let's see what happens.
This one, the sweepers aren't touching it.
They're not touching it, but
But they're just backing, so is he going to curl up to the back?
yeah, no trouble at all.
And yeah, no mistake.
Good looking point.
So,
Fantastic. So 1 point for BC. In this third end, gives Northern Ontario the hammer back. What's going on the other sheets, Ray?
sheet B, they're still playing their third end, and
Okay.
it's still Alberta 4-0 ahead on
Okay.
Nova Scotia. Sheet C, New Brunswick 2-0 ahead, playing their third end on the Yukon. Sheet D, Ontario has stolen another point in the third, so they lead 5-0 on Northwest Territories.
Okay.
And Sheet E is Newfoundland Labrador leading PEI 2-1 after 2.
2-1. Newfoundland's leading.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So, fourth and underway. Kelsey Steiger.
Throwing the in-turn center guard,
Center
clearly.
guard, yeah. Trying to get this one over. And it's over, so.
Is Northern Ontario calling the come around here?
They are. They just won this top 8.
Okay, so they're prepared to play still with a 1-point lead. Northern Ontario is not going to try and run anywhere.
And it is only a 1-point lead. Still lots of game left, so. This one's slipping a little deeper, but good shot nonetheless. Top 4.
Top 4, you can see Joanise just jumps right all over that. It's going to draw one down in onto the top of that one in the top of the 4-foot and effectively cut Northern Ontario's scoring zone down to a 2-foot zone.
Yep.
They do. They always. It's a connection between it's always accurate on the machine. On the handset.
That one comes up a bit short.
Yeah, he'll be a bit disappointed in that.
Still not bad, though.
Nope. Anything on the center line is going to be constructive for the team that's trying to steal points at this stage.
This is an aggressive call from Northern Ontario by corner freezing that top one.
But then it comes back and I check he's still got power.
Amanda Gates throwing something tight and to the center. Again, probably not really what Northern Ontario wants to be doing, but Joanise has called the shots by throwing that center guard and coming around as well. They're prepared to play. This will be an entertaining end.
That one over curling, though. Chance now for a corner freeze.
Yeah, this is a confounded center line. Interesting. Pass me on to the mics. We got Donnie Powell here again. We got an ice update. Don? Yeah, we're putting you on the spot. Grab the mic.
Oh my goodness.
How are things going, Don?
You got a bleep button?
Yeah, there's always a bleep button when you're around. There needs to be.
Hello, Hugh.
There is no bleep button, Don. How are you doing, Don?
Excellent.
And
Hugh.
great. How's the ice making going?
Excellent.
Is it?
Yes. The ice crew is at 7-0 at this point. And we're looking at 8-0.
Looking at 8-0. How many you're counting down draws? Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely.
Are the conditions exactly what you're looking for?
You know, I think this is a pretty playable surface. I'm hoping that the players are enjoying it and that we've managed to take the ice itself out of the equation.
I've heard nothing but compliments about it, Don. I've heard nothing but compliments.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Now, Ray and I didn't have an argument this morning, but we were tripping over whether or not these are Weston stones or whether or not Curling Canada brought these in. Tell us about the stones.
These are Weston stones.
Are they?
And they are performing exactly the way they should be.
How do you maintain your set of rocks here, Don?
Well, that's a good question, Hugh. We have,
do you have an answer for me?
These rocks were inserted in 2002.
Were they?
And they were done by Canada Curling Stone, and they were done very precision, and we have had nothing but tender, loving care with them ever since then.
Yeah. No, I've had the opportunity to throw them a few times. This is about as good a set of rocks as you could want. They're beautifully consistent across all the sheets as well.
I think so as well, Hugh. There's always an odd comment from players here and there that there might be some discrepancies, and I think with any set of stones there would be some minor discrepancies, but I think these are about as good as they get.
Tell me, Don, are the odd comments you get from the teams that are winning or from the teams that are losing?
Sometimes a bit of both.
Sometimes a bit of both.
Sometimes the comments that come from winning teams hold a little bit more value than those from the losing teams. Not to say that losing teams are blaming anything. Sometimes they are correct.
Have you ever been to the Kitchener Waterloo Granite Club?
Yes, I have.
There's a wonderful sign that they've got hung over the bar there, and it says, when swimmers or... Oh, hang on. What does that to say?
If you can't swim, don't blame the water.
Exactly. If you can't swim, don't blame the water.
I've heard that expression many times.
Indeed. Well, thanks very much for taking a minute or two with us here, Don.
My pleasure, Hugh. Thank you.
Good luck with the rest of the event. Again, what we've seen so far, we're looking forward to some really entertaining curling for the balance of the week.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. So after that brief musical interlude, I've lost complete track of who is where in this end. Who's throwing at this point?
Well, that was Tyler Orm's last stone. And,
Was it?
He unfortunately was trying the double but jammed onto his own stone, and so Northern Ontario line 2. Christopher Brion's final stone coming up.
Okay.
Northern Ontario with the hammer in this fourth end.
And sitting a deuce.
It's a good opportunity here if they can loop another one around those center guards. They'll be shaping up quite nicely.
Gonna tuck this in, have to get it to the top of the 8th foot. Happy enough to slide it into the top of the 4. Yeah.
Quite nice.
Yeah. BC's under pressure here. They're going to have to respond.
This is a really aggressive call here.
It is indeed, because he's asking to tap this up just a couple of feet, and that'll still leave it in front of the tee line behind a whole pile of stones on the center line.
So British Columbia playing with no fear right now. Only down by 1. Shannon Alexic with her first.
And you can see why they're playing with no fear. That's a good setup shot.
It's a great shot. It's now the question of how does Northern Ontario guard against that.
Well, it looks as though they've decided. Cut off that side with a midway guard, halfway between the house and the hog line.
Yeah.
Great mechanics, beautiful smooth slide, and away it is.
Now, Hugh, I've never seen your delivery before. Is it as smooth and mechanically
Looks
sound?
nothing like that. Looks nothing like that at all.
Only in a dream.
Indeed. No, this is a clunky old thing I've got.
Okay, so it's British Columbia now. It's a bit congested. How do they get at those 2 yellow shot stones? Looks as though they're going to try and maneuver their top 12 stone.
They're still playing setup shots.
So
This is great. They're playing They're playing what I call a 5-3 offense. They're throwing 5 setup stones, and they're going to use their last 3 to figure out how to score something. Your Vice's last stone and your Skip's 2 stones are your scoring stones. You're using your first 5 to set up an end.
hate to break this to you, but this is the 6th stone, so 6-2 offense then.
Oh, there you go. Well, this is getting pretty aggressive.
Yes. So Shannon Alexic's last stone of this 4th end. Trying to just jiggle the red. Top of this one's curling hard.
You call me out, Ray. I'll get you.
I'm sure you will, Hugh.
Still.
Well, that could be used.
They've got an angle in now. On the side, though that angle does jam.
Which is what
Right, they're happy enough. They're happy enough with that.
Yeah. And they also have that center line top 12 stone to run into the two-shot stone. So it's a bit of a conundrum here for Northern Ontario. Can't guard against both, really.
You may see them tuck one in around the stone that they've got in the top 12 foot there.
I guess guarding the simpler shot right now.
Well, they're going to throw this throw a long guard, which leaves BC to hit and roll to the button off their own stone.
Ooh, and down goes Amanda Gates.
Oh, really?
She's okay.
Bounce
Bit of a
back up in a hurry.
Yeah. And this one,
Is it over curling?
it might have done the job.
Well,
Because anything on that redstone is going onto their own redstone. So
and BC jumps up to take advantage of the stone that they've got sitting on the corner of the 8 foot. An opportunity to roll in here. But only one opportunity to roll in.
yeah.
So Jonice is going to have to capitalize as well as possible on this one. Asking for a little bit more ice.
So assuming this is going to come with some good peel weight.
Well, really, this is a weight control shot, isn't it?
It is. But I feel like he likes to throw the big high ones.
Oh, do you
there
think?
he comes.
There we
Yeah.
go. Some speed coming down here.
Looking a bit high. What has he got? No. So now a chance for Colin Koivula to maybe hit that one and roll. Either roll away or roll completely, and roll away is a good stone at this point.
Yeah. That's going to force BC to throw the draw that Koivula is avoiding at this stage,
Yeah.
which is the draw to the top of the 4 foot or corner of the button.
Yeah, they probably would have to come back button to get covered. So first stone of this 4th end for Colin Koivula. Good shot.
Peels it off.
So now BC will have to draw back button. Jonice looking and seeing if there's anything lined up. Perhaps looking at the yellow. Yeah, yellow onto the top 8 foot red. Seems to like his peel weight shots, so wouldn't be surprised if you want to take a run at it.
There's not a lot of pretty shots out there at this stage.
No.
You've got a button covered by 2 stones and nothing but a mass of rocks that you threw there. You threw in front of the house yourself.
Yeah. Perhaps played one too many setup shots this end. So.
Should have played the 5 and 3, not the 6
Absolutely.
and 2.
Should have listened to Coach Hugh.
No.
5-3, not 6-2. is a very precise shot. There's no room for tolerance here.
There's all sorts of room for tolerance, no room for error.
Final stone here for Dean Jonis. Gonna have to go hard for line here. This one's diving towards the top 12, so really diving. Gonna get it by? No, they won't.
No, they won't.
Leaves a wide out turn draw here for Colin Quavela to score 3.
So we timed that 15.16
Yeah.
between the hogs.
Yeah.
So about a 15 flat or a 1480
Yeah.
between the hogs is going to get you a nice draw.
We haven't played much out this side, so not sure if there's any speed difference. Might be a bit fresh. Final stone of this fourth end. Northern Ontario ready with 2, drawing for a third.
Well, that's 1550, so.
And it's going to pull up short, so...
Yep, indeed. They'll be happy with the deuce, though. They'll be happy with the deuce.
So a deuce for Northern Ontario puts them 4 shots to 1 ahead of BC as they take their 5-minute fourth end break. Just running through the other scores on the other sheets, it's Alberta stealing 1 in the third, and so they're 5-0 ahead of Nova Scotia. On sheet C, it's still playing the fourth end, and 2-2 tie between the Yukon and New Brunswick. Sheet D, it's 5-1 now for Ontario over Northwest Territories. And on sheet E, still playing the fourth end, and it's all tied at 2, Newfoundland and PEI.
Yeah, they're ordering rummies out on the ice.
We're such proud parents.
Proud parents in the background.
We actually don't know them all. Never seen them before.
Not cutting nothing. That's great.
Oh, that's not a problem. I'm like, oh yeah. God love it.
Which one is it?
God love it.
Somewhere in
Sorry, it looks as though they're ready to get going again on sheet one. I'm not certain though. They've hidden me away in a little cubby hole. I'm not actually able to see what's going on sheet one. Are they ready to go there?
They're ready to go.
They're ready to go. Are they?
They're ready to go. So we've already had one stone played. Northern Ontario and Amanda Gates putting it on the tee line on the 4-foot, and so corner guard being called here for Kelsey Steiger.
Well, they should be. That it depends if they switch it. I prefer not to.
So Amanda Gates will look to put another one top 4 in front of her first stone. Quick update on sheet B, and it was Nova Scotia picking up a deuce in the 4th end, so Alberta with a 5-2 lead after 4 ends. And a well-played stone. So Northern Ontario with a 3-point lead. We'll look to keep things a little bit more simple here. Dean Jonice trying to put up a second corner guard.
Successful with that.
So So Northern Ontario electing to peel the tight corner guard. Christopher Brion. Great shot.
Interesting. We'll take
Electing to go around the corner guard.
right away. Tyler Arm throwing the out turn, come around the corner guard. The sweeper's indicating that he's got plenty of weight by standing back off the stone. Yeah. He won't be pleased with himself over this.
That's a huge mistake.
Slipping it through, because Northern Ontario will now head straight up and peel off the only guard that BC has. Chris Briand taking no time, getting out of the hack. Happy enough to peel that thing away. And quite successful in doing so. Miss is as good as a mile, that's not a miss. All I needed was a sliver, he said. And that's quite precisely what he threw. If Tyler Arm can beak these two, hit them on the nose, he'll end up frozen in front of the tee line. And I'm sure he'd be quite content with that. But this stone's going to have to curl. Yeah, that does them no favors.
So a chance for Northern Ontario to hit and stick here instead of chew. Create the force. Electing to just peel it out, I believe.
And there's the rub. Do you peel it out and let the other team blank? Because that's what's going to happen here. You're going to end up setting up a blank, or do you beak it, or on the risk of having the stone deep that they could freeze against and giving up the deuce, but instead force them potentially.
It's no mistake.
Nope.
So BC still with no real risk, so just gonna freeze to the top 4 yellow.
This is curling. Donnie Powell's swingy ice. Even with weight, she threw that heavier than she should have, or that she needed to, certainly. It's gone slid to the back of the 8 foot, back of the 4 foot.
So either didn't have enough ice or might have got that one going a bit.
Yeah. And that's just the nature of this ice. If you start a stone curling, on certainly one of these stones curling, it's difficult to hold it.
So again, looking to peel this one out.
Half the stone rolls off. Mission accomplished. Back to you, BC. Clearly at this stage, though, they decided that they're not going to play freezes and try and cash a deuce. Just exchange and hope for a miss.
Colin Koivula with his first of this fifth end.
Just wants to hit the nose of that stone and stay in play.
Nice shot. So Dean Janice will look to run the send out, try and blank, and
yeah, he's got two stones. He's got two
still
stones.
You never know. But the intent is to try and run this one out.
I would argue that the intent is to hope that you get an opposition miss and draw for your second point.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yes.
Odds? Very low. Good looking throw here, though.
Pretty quiet weight takeout. No mistake.
So, Ray, somebody said a business card down next to me here. Shall I tell you what it says? Okay. It says 2016 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Do you know anything about this?
I might.
Tell me a bit about it.
So the 2016 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts is going to be taking place at the Brampton Curling Club, January 18th to the 24th. It'll assemble 10 of the best women's teams in Ontario. We've already got one team declared, and that's Team Julie Hastings from Bayview as defending champion. So if you're looking to watch some great women's curling, come on down to Brampton.
What are the dates? Does it have the dates on there?
January 18th to the 24th.
Fantastic.
And tickets are available on the website at 2016ontarioscotties.com.
Fantastic. So if you're in Ontario rather than your home province and are around Brampton that weekend, join us at the Brampton Curling Club.
Join us at the Brampton Curling Club. It should be a fun event. Shout out to Bonnalie Allard and Colin Sinclair, who are the chairs of the event. Final stone, Dean Jonice. Oh!
Ooh.
And that's a big miss.
He won't be pleased with himself over that.
So that's a massive steal for Northern Ontario out of nowhere. And so Northern Ontario now moves into a 5-1 lead through 5 ends.
Yeah, he was looking just to peel that out and roll out. There really was no need for him to throw the rocket ship weight that he did throw there. And he knows it.
So now Northern Ontario will definitely be on the defense here.
Now keeping stones in the house or through is what they'll be looking for here.
Well, I'm sitting in the front row over there.
He's tapping the top of the forefoot. Throw me one on the top of the forefoot. You know full well that BC's going to run up and throw a couple of corner guards and try and get some offense going.
So if I'm sitting all the way down there, my name's Sarah, so just yell if I forget to come over, okay?
It's a good start to the end for Amanda Gates. So Dean Janice will look to throw the first of his guards, and he's selecting to pull a center guard. Looking to lure Northern Ontario into a center guard game to try and get some offense going.
Well, I think the thinking's probably that if we throw the center guard at this point, Northern Ontario may very well go to ticket, and if you leave corner guards, then you're in great shape. Because of course that's in the free guard zone, so Northern Ontario can't actually take it out of play.
Not remove it. They can tick it, but
taking it, you run the risk of leaving two corner guards by playing the tick. You're almost better off. Ooh, look at that. Throw the stone through. I'm not interested in having any stones in play, is what Koivula is saying here. Yeah, just say, Jim, whatever you want. Come sit down and have a chat with us when you got a sec.
Yeah, I'll take it to the office. Yeah, it's just one necklace. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll take it to the office.
so BC elected to come around the center guard, but now Northern Ontario can peel the center guard.
I say I've lost a bit of track of who's thrown at this point. Is Chris?
Brown.
Chris is?
Yeah,
okay.
first stone. Nice shot. Never end up. So this is interesting. So now throwing a corner guard.
Well, he's got to get some stones in play, and a corner guard is just about is as good as anything for him, for BC here. Tyler Arm looking to redeem himself after sliding one through in the last end. Don't remind me, he says. Throwing out the corner guard, and they'll do their best to make quick use of that if Northern Ontario doesn't manage to remove it.
A nice shot.
Chris Briand out of the hack as quick as possible with a peel weight hit to look after that corner guard. And away it goes. My Nicholas has another corner guard. What do you think, Ray?
I would think so. Trying the center again.
I lose the nickel.
Just trying to figure out a place where they might get a mistake out of Northern Ontario, but they've been peeling pretty well so far, so it's going to be pretty tough to get a mistake.
We have another special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jennifer Ferris.
Thanks, Hugh.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
What have you got to tell us about the curling world? What's going on in the curling world from your perspective these days, Jennifer?
Oh, it's been a busy time.
You know, I haven't introduced you. You're involved in the Ontario Curling Council.
Yeah.
You've been I know you've been coaching me as a coach for the last God knows how long. Jen, what's going on in the curling world? What's going on in the coaching world?
Lots of exciting things. So yeah, I do hold a role within Ontario. I'm the manager of programs and operations for the Ontario Curling Council. And many people don't know what that is, but the Ontario Curling Council is the official sport organization in the province for amateur curling. And
Now, why would you need an official?
Well, it is. It's because in the curling world, it's kind of unknown. But in the provincial government world, it's all that kind of matters, right? So we're taking a little bit more of an active role within the curling community, working very closely with the OCA and the NOCA, and doing some really fun things with regards to athlete development, high performance development, so to speak, mixed doubles. We're trying to find our next Olympians who are 5 to 8 years out from an Olympic podium. So some really exciting things happening in the athlete development world.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit more about what's going on in the athlete development world? Because I know that out in Alberta, they've got effectively centers for excellence where they spend a lot of time and energy training their athletes. And the results in Alberta have been very clear. They've got some fantastic athletes. So what's going on here in Ontario at this stage then?
So what the Saville Centre has out in Alberta is something called the daily training environment, right? And it's where teams have access to good ice, they have access to coaching expertise, and in some cases equipment, things like instrumented brushes, video equipment, whatnot. All those things that they can immerse themselves in almost year-round and work on their training. So we are definitely looking to establish a daily training environment or a training center here in Ontario. Whether or not it's a bricks and mortar building when we first get started, or more of a virtual center, we're probably going to start off with a virtual center. And I'm probably a couple months away from launching that fully, but we want to create regional training centers around the province, north and south, where teams can come in and access coaching equipment, those things.
Coaching expertise as well, I'm sure.
It's the people, really, right, that they want the access to.
Yeah.
And to get started, it might be subsidized or it might be definitely a fee-for-service type access. But, we have to start somewhere. And then as we get things established, we're looking to, kind of get a bricks and mortar building that we're affiliated with. Generally, right now, we use KW Granite for quite a few of our camps and the Trilliums and our high-performance camps, podium project, things like that. And they've been fantastic to work with so far.
That's fantastic. Can you stick with us for a minute or two?
Yeah, sure.
Ray, bring us up to speed on what's going on here, because it looks as though we've got a timeout on sheet one.
We have a technical timeout here. OSM Juan Brion was throwing her stone, and the red lights came on the stone, but they're disputing that it wasn't a hogline. Northern Ontario is disputing that it wasn't a hogline violation, so they're getting the technical crew to come out and check the stone, I believe.
Okay, so we in fact, your timing here, Jen, is perfectly opportune. We have a moment or two to talk about other things. Actually, Ray, you must have been watching. I was chatting with Jennifer here. You were watching this end. It's clearly the end has turned around a little bit, though.
Yeah,
we've got BC. Has 2 stones in the house at this point.
Yeah, we've had a couple mistakes, so we're just waiting for this technical timeout to be finished. But it's coming up to Shannon Alexic's first stone, and kind of critical at this point because they could make a play on it to lie 3.
Jennifer, are you familiar with the evolution of the high performance center the centers that have developed out west? And I ask that because I'm wondering if you believe that that Alberta's well ahead of the rest of the country with respect to high performance development. I ask that only because you see on an annual basis guys like Glenn Howard still making and others now performing really well at the Nationals in any case. Are we behind in Ontario?
We are very much so.
Yeah.
Because the days we don't have a Glenn or Brad Jacobs going to the Canadians, if you start to look at our results, if we didn't have those two teams, or a Rachel or a Tracy Horgan starting to bring up, or a Tracy Ferry starting to bring up our averages a little bit, we're sitting our 8-year average for national podium finishes. When you look at men's, women's, in our juniors, we're sitting around 3rd to 6th or 7th place.
And with the
which isn't
population,
great
no,
with
and
the population that we have, right?
considering the population base that exists certainly in southern Ontario, you're right. That's interesting. So,
but we've never really done anything in the past. Like, we've run some fantastic junior camps and the odd high performance camp or another. We never really tried by design to help our athletes, and that's something that our ministry has been looking for us to take the lead on, and that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, certainly not at the senior levels, but you're right. You refer to the Trillium camps that Jim Waite and Wendy Morgan and others have really championed here. They're pretty impressive development
they're world
programs,
class.
indeed.
Absolutely, and we will continue to do that because, obviously our technical skills in our juniors are phenomenal, right? It's how do we take those technical skills and translate them into team skills and some wins on the podium, right?
Well, it'll be really interesting to watch how you and the people you're working with do that over the next. My guess is it'll take a decade to really catch up with some of the other provinces for Ontario. But
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that is my model, right? I'm trying to say, how do I make sure that every team that we send to a national championship, will win, right? Or we're confident that we'll get a podium finish out of all of them.
Well, thanks very much for taking a few minutes to join us here, Jennifer.
Thanks.
We'll get back to watching some of this curling. Have you had a chance to watch some of the curling?
I did a couple. I've just been here for a couple of draws, and nice to see the Ontario-based teams, Northern Ontario and Southern Ontario, winning here. Of course, I'm always cheering for the Ontario teams, but
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's great to see such a well-run event. Weston's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
and,
Beth and her committee are fantastic. They've really done well.
For sure, and I've been listening at home while I've been working, and you guys have been doing great.
We're having fun at it anyway.
Exactly. So enjoy the rest of the week, and I'm
going
to head out to the Slam and check things out there on the weekend.
Sounds good. You enjoy yourself, Jennifer. We'll look forward to seeing you again.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
No, that was for a second.
So
that mistake that had BC sitting in a great
BC
position.
was sitting second, third, and fourth shot after Shannon Alexic stone. We had the stone checked by Don Powell, and it was deemed a good stone functionally, but it was a hogline violation. So, but we just had a beauty shot here from Colin Coivola. He made the thin double on the third and fourth shot stones. So now Dean Jonice will look to either freeze or tap this yellow shot stone back. Looks like a tap. Hawkweight shot.
He doesn't want to set up a double, though, does he? No, that's not going to be it. If it's a double, it's a thin one.
Yeah. It's pretty steep. But it's definitely there. Our hit and roll in front isn't the end of the world. But he's lining up the double. Interestingly, playing at the high side, I would have been more tempted to play it.
Well, to make that double by firing the top stone across, you're looking at catching just a corner, just a sliver of that stone, and the amount of momentum that you're going to transfer into it, this stone's going to have to be moving.
Careful not to set it out with any kind of weight because it's not going to come back. You don't want to flash this and give up a 3.
No, but he's going to have to throw it pretty hard if he is looking for the double.
Yeah, which I believe he is. So final stone of this 6th end for Colin Coivola.
He's going to catch a good piece of it and roll off, leaving a deuce for British Columbia.
So an opportunity to cut the deficit in half. 2 ends left after this, so good opportunity here for Dean Jonice.
Beautiful delivery. Great technical thrower. Any piece of the house will give him his 2 points. Be happy to move on to an aggressive next end, an aggressive 7th end.
So through 6 ends, it's Northern Ontario with a 5-shots-to-3 lead. Quickly going through the other scores, Sheet B, a massive steal of 2 for Nova Scotia in the 5th end, and so Alberta's lead is cut to 5-4.
After how many ends? After 5? Is that after 5 ends? Yeah, great.
Sheet C, after 5 ends, it is 3-3 between Yukon and New Brunswick. Sheet D, it's Ontario running away with it 7-1 after 5 ends. And on Sheet E, it is Newfoundland, Labrador, and PEI all tied at 3.
So British Columbia, after cashing 2 points in the 6th end, still down to, is going to have to be aggressive in trying to steal this game away from Northern Ontario, and so they call a long center guard.
Yep. This one looks as though it's curling hard early.
They'll be disappointed in that.
Get it over, so that's a massive error.
Yeah, Northern Ontario is not interested in having any stones in play at this point, so
could throw it through.
they're going to throw it on the corner of the house in any case. Stone on the corner of the 12 asked for, and Amanda Gates delivers. Good shot.
So looking for another center guard, trying to make it this time. Kelsey Steiger.
I mean, it's fine because they.
And a good shot.
Yeah, indeed.
Redeems herself a bit after that first mistake. So, looking for the split or tick shot here. Try and get it off the center line. Trying to cross the face here. Of course, cannot remove this from play.
No, I don't think she's got weight to remove play. I think she's got a good-looking shot here.
Pretty nice shot.
Difficult to say which of those two is shot, but there's a lot of stones yet to be played, so. Tyler Orm being asked to throw the out turn here. Looking for it to stop as a guard in front of the left-hand side of the house, certainly from our perspective.
They sure go, ooh, this. Come on. would like to choose this. Well, I think a lot of like
And as quickly as that stops, Chris Brion's going to throw a solid weight hit.
Someone asked me, so I work at a kind of sports center basically in Edmonton.
Peel that out of play.
My team was playing skins game last year, so there's
Success.
like every state. And the person asked me, "Oh, are they just going to be placing plates around?" I was like, "No, I have to actually."
So BC will look to replace that shot from Tyler Orm.
He's like, "Oh, so they're just going to place the weeds around?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yes, they play with 3. I wouldn't. Just it was 6
Oh no.
I feel sure he doesn't think he's having his best game right now.
No. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. He slipped one through in and going away. Actually, pretty much along that same line. And that one just comes short of the hog line.
So a decision to be made here for Northern Ontario. They could peel their yellow corner guard. Could actually peel it into the red one on the side. Or they could come around the corner guard, try and score
Well,
two. Or
they have
hit the
hammer.
open one. Yeah.
They have hammer. So they really are in the driver's seat here.
Yeah. Lots of options.
This end and one more to play. Up a
The
deuce
safe
with
shot
hammer.
is to clear the corner guard. You could get lucky and run it into the red.
He does. Feathers it off as well.
So great shot there by Chris Brion. So now BC's going to have to regroup and try again to throw a center guard.
Northern Ontario threw a peel there. And it jammed into the wall and then into one of the stones that was then still in play. So they have to figure out precisely where that one's going to go.
Oh, after the already yeah.
They usually have like 11, they like switch it to 11, 5, 9, because they have to have the cost of
You're right.
BC throwing up yet another center guard, recognizing that they need these guards in play if they're going to score points.
So Dean Jonice looking to hit the Yellowstone in the house, try and sit right there. The guards have been all peeled off successfully, so.
Yeah, there's not much left in play here for them. There's lots left in play, though.
Ooh! And it looked as though he felt something under his rock, and that's unfortunate, too. Just not his game.
Okay, here's a note to Jerry Gertz. We got to build in a replay. We got to build in a replay tool on this.
Oh no! Yeah, you hate to see that happen.
Yeah, that's.
So now an unexpected opportunity here for Colin Koivula to split the house and try and get his deuce here.
Any piece of the house will set him up here. That's about as any piece as you could want. T-line. Good throw. Little fist bumps there between Colin and Amanda. Pleased with that. It looks like British Columbia recognizes that they've got to be as aggressive as possible here. They're looking for a freeze on that stone.
So going all in here.
Exactly. This is all in. If he makes this shot, great. You've got another end to play. If he misses this shot, it'll be handshakes. Guiding this one gingerly into the house. Looks like the weight is not going to be what British Columbia was hoping for. Any kind of peel on that stone will leave Northern Ontario cashing, well, at least two.
That was pretty amazing. If I didn't see him line it up, I wouldn't have known if that could be shot.
So final stone of this 7th end. Conquervilla looking to pick out the British Columbia Redstone. Pick up a deuce, and he's
No
on
mistake
target.
here.
No mistake. So Northern Ontario picks up a deuce here in the 7th end and opens up a 4-point lead heading home. Quick update across the sheets. On sheet B.
Ray, give me a moment to hang the score on the board. That's 2 there for that. I said, just give me a second to update the score here, because I'm trying to keep. Because I can't see the score, so I actually rely on you to tell me what the scores are.
Oh, I gotta slow down for the technician here,
Exactly,
eh?
the technician's holding you up. Well, there's one thing is for sure: British Columbia is not going to score 4 points to tie this game if they shake hands.
No.
So they've decided to play this final end in any case. Let's go across the boards and you can help me update.
Alrighty, on sheet B, after 5 ends, it is Alberta with a 5-4 lead on Nova Scotia. On sheet C, it is 3-3 Yukon and New Brunswick. That's after 6. On sheet D, it's all over. It's Ontario winning 11-1.
Ontario winning 11.
And on sheet E, it's Newfoundland Labrador with a 4-3 lead on PEI, and that's after 6. Now all of you are up to date, and our technician is up to date.
We'll get back to the action. Here we go. That wasn't Amanda's smoothest delivery, but stone is on its way nonetheless.
Effective enough. Those are the shots you like, just a simple throw through, no
Indeed.
pressure.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If you find her, I'd like to get back to her. You don't have to. Because I got it just to change one sheet, and then... Oh, yeah. You don't have to. I can go home and get a few. Yeah, Chris is perfect. Oh, we need to finish it.
Team's going to confer for a moment. What kind of time? How much time have they got left on the scoreboard there, Ray? How much time have they got left on the scoreboard?
It's BC with 6 minutes and 18 seconds.
Yeah, so they've got tons of time left.
Northern Ontario with 5:41 left, so lots of thinking time left.
It could have been these, no? Oh, yeah. There's a lot. It's scary.
There we go.
I take that. It's like my father-in-law. It's great. Like a sheet. Oh, yeah.
Is this like here?
So 2 guards in play.
I leave a few hours, 2 hours. This is actually, this kind of event.
2 guards in play. It's Boom Boom Briand throwing the peel, so. Out she comes.
And looks as though we'll just get the 1. So that's fine. Time and stone's running out on BC.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was before. Yeah, White Avenue. That's White Avenue. Yeah, good times down there. That was before the oil boom. And then I moved away. And then Edmonton, I guess. I always loved it. It was such a nice city. Then I heard after a few years of the oil boom, it kind of faded. But anyways, now it's back to the way it was when I was there. You know, oil was so low. When I moved there, it was $20 a barrel. And then it started to spike up. But I loved it. Yeah, it was nice. A lot of people don't like it. I like it.
Yet another peel. Heading down the sheet.
I like them all.
Nice smooth out turn.
Never went yet?
So it gets rid of the 1, which is fine.
I mean, I hear there's some cool things happening.
It is. It's a neat place. Yeah, but you're stuck.
So 5 stones to come for BC, and they must make 4 of them count. So trying to figure out where to put this next one. Another card or start coming around.
I wait till the last rock.
Can you hear us?
No, I can. Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
You have those on.
No, we can hear you. You're actually being picked up by the mic, so the rest of Canada can hear you too. Yeah. So your comments about the fat lady singing, yeah, they're out there.
Way to go, Brian.
That would be Brian Gates.
We're from Saskatoon.
Another guard. So Oysem Wambriand looking to peel.
Actually, I was
And no mistake.
Nope. Beautiful peel.
So 4 stones left, and they've got to make all 4 of these count.
I had to use Google. It wasn't slow. I figured that out. Yeah, thank you. That's right. I tried to explain to Mom that. She's still issues. Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. We're going to throw that want to do it?
Nice shot.
Boy, Sam having the opportunity to put this game to bed at this point.
Don't be bending your knees, can't matter.
Peels it out. So there is a corner guard there to split on, so they'll look to do that.
There is nothing like tenacity, Ray. There is nothing like tenacity.
It's true. This one's curling hard. That's great. So it'll be an open hit for Colin Koivula to end the game. And right on target. So, handshakes. Northern Ontario with the win, 7-3, and will improve their record to 4-2. BC will drop to 1-4. So Northern Ontario qualified for the championship round.
Well, it's a very entertaining game here on Sheet 1 of the Weston Golf Country Club. Ray, who have we got in our next round?
In our next game, we'll be featuring...
Oh, to be honest, yeah, we're not exactly sure who we're featuring here. To be announced. We've got Manitoba and Yukon, Yukon territories on Sheet 1. On Sheet 2, we've got Ontario and Quebec. And some people have been lobbying us to have the Ontario-Quebec game on, just because of the incredible rivalry there. But of course, there's always a rivalry between Manitoba and the Yukon territory as well. So we'll see where we actually go. In any case, that game's on at 7:00 this evening. Ray, you're going to be here as well.
Right now, yes.
right now, why are we? Is someone planning on shipping you away?
Someone's planning on shipping me away.
I hope not. I think we've got Ross Scarra coming.
Scarra will be here.
Scarra's coming in as well, so that's good.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks very much, Ray, for spending a couple of hours with me on this game. We'll look forward to having you in a future webcast as well.
Absolutely.
From Curling Zone, this is Hugh Murphy and Ray Hussein signing off for the evening, or signing off certainly for the afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for watching Livestream Curling. Brought to you by curlingzone.com. Everything curling.